What's up, witches? This is Eisen. So today I rolled over and turned on the radio, and I put it on CBC because I expected there to be normal stuff on frickin' CBC. Instead, they were frickin' going on about the damn protest that I actually happened to be at a couple days ago, and they had this chick on there, and they were asking her about how the youth feel about the damn protests. And I don't know what the hell this thing is really with people trying to get children to turn out for protests. It's very freaking cringe. Um, they should just be in school. They shouldn't be photographed holding signs and whatnot. I think it's extremely freaking cringe. Um, so yeah, uh, so this dude is asking the lady some questions, and she freaking basically says that it's all about gender expression and whatnot being silenced, and clearly it's freaking not. I was there, and that's how the left is treating it, but that's actually not how it freaking is. Because the left, they didn't even freaking know what the hell they were protesting there. I saw the signs. I was offered to hold a bunch of the signs, and I was like, "Nah, dog, I don't hold signs. That's just not me." And and so instead, I was just standing there, green hair and a freaking Mac jacket, right? And all the signs said stuff about it's okay to be gay or whatever, which I had already heard of this protest from other sources, and I think it was in the paper or something like that. I can't remember who the hell told me, but what I heard about the protest was that it was um, it was basically about the whole thing that kids can be trans in school and not tell their parents about it, which I have a massive problem with. I actually was one of those kids that basically did that, just with one of my parents, because it wasn't, I just felt it wasn't time to come out yet. I just didn't know how the hell to do it. And so, at least one of my parents knew, right? And freaking, but if I had just been that kid that was trans at school and didn't tell freaking anybody, I mean, when you think about it, from the kid's perspective, it's just, oh, anxiety, man, frick, I don't want to, get involved in having to do that. Just want to do that and try to be that and not have a reaction for it. But when you think about it, parents these days are not that bad. I don't know anybody who's been kicked out the damn house because they were trans. So, you know, if you're a trans kid, you basically just have to get over it and freaking just go and tell somebody, because you're spending a third of your waking hours in school. You know, I've calculated that I'm up for 15 hours a freaking day doing, whatever the hell I do. And school is 6 of that. So that's pretty much a third of your time that you're spending being somebody else, essentially. And, and so when it comes down to it, you know, if you're pretending to be somebody completely different, right? If you're just trying that out, somebody's got to freaking know about it. This isn't a damn secret. It shouldn't be, at least. And yeah, the funny thing about it was that I looked around freaking everywhere, and yeah, I was 30 minutes late. But the thing is, the right was nowhere to be freaking found. But the protest was at such a damn stupid time of day. It was at 9 a.m. Who the hell protests at 9 a.m.? I've been to one protest before, and that was some sort of Black Lives Matter rally 2 years ago. And, you know, I went because everybody else was going. I didn't know what the hell I was getting involved in, really. That organization is just, they've done a lot of bad things, and they did all those riots and whatnot. And so this one was, very clear that it was a peaceful protest, because they have to say that now, which is just freaking embarrassing. I mean, peaceful is inherently what a protest should be. Otherwise, it's not a protest. It's just some sort of, you know, some sort of crime. I mean, that's organized crime pretty much. And yeah, I know you guys can't see it because it's a terrible freaking angle, but this, what I'm doing actually looks pretty good. I just don't have the setup in the right way. I'm going to move my bookshelf probably to the whole freaking area of the window so that I get better lighting when I'm doing this. So that, you know, this isn't my backdrop. I'd rather it be the mirror there, even though it creates a really bad freaking glare. But anyway, yeah, you know, it would have been nice if people had turned up on the right for the protest. I'm not really, you know, going either way there, really, because, you know, being trans, I am on one side of the issue inherently, but I also just wish that people weren't, you know, legally allowed to lie to their whole family about what they're doing at school. You know, and a lot of these kids, they're getting into the damn social media, and that's just teaching them a whole lot of freaking things that, well, you know, they act like it's teaching you, but really what a lot of these apps are doing are just handing you a freaking algorithm and expecting you to you know, expecting the kids to understand what being trans really is, even though what they're being shown is just anybody can be that and you have to respect it, you know. And yeah, anybody can be that, but when it comes down to it, you know, you have to try, you have to make an effort to transition. You can't just, you know, change your pronouns or whatever. It's so stupid. I used to believe in that, and I want to do a video in which I show pictures where I used to be like that, because let me tell you, it was pretty damn stereotypical. I was really freaking dumb back then. And you know why? Because I had no friends. That was before the algorithms really got bad. That was about, you know, 2015, 2016, right? So I was living in times that weren't even that damn bad, and still it was getting me. You know, let me tell you, teens shouldn't be got, whether it's a cult or whether it's internet propaganda. I was freaking there. If you really want to know what it's like, you have to listen to people that were actually there. You have to listen to people who have actually lived that life before, you know, detransitioners and stuff. They were sucked into the damn algorithm. Nobody wanted to pull them out. And that's what people aren't taking into account. They're not thinking about the freaking detransitioners. They're not thinking about them at all. They think it's about trans kids getting their rights. Well, guess what? We already have them. I heard there's states where they've rolled that back, but, you know, I think it's just kind of a vote with your dollar thing. I mean, you don't like the laws, just don't live there anymore, you know? Because this has become a hot button freaking issue. And it's really damn unfortunate that it's had to come to all of this. It's just really freaking annoying. Yeah, and I have to. The reason why this is a live stream is because I don't know where the hell my camcorder is. Straight up, had it last night. You know, I got Evie by my side, and I'm like, ooga booga, it's a small creature, and freaking, you know, I put her down somewhere, and now I don't know where she is, and she's not in the bed. Probably, I checked. I had her downstairs yesterday, last night, and I don't know where she is, but I have her charge cable, so we're not lost with that. But you know, videos just take up too much damn space. It's just not entirely viable to you know, film a billionth YouTube video where it could have just been alive, because it's just kind of stupid. So many freaking gigabytes. You guys have no idea how many videos are on the go, but it's a lot. It's at least 3 to 6. I don't know. I've made a lot of stuff, and I just wish I had someone to help me out with this, but there's no one responding to my Craigslist posts, so there's that. No one wants to be an editor these days. But yeah, I really think it's a lot of things. I really think it's something that people should take into account, because they're acting like you can only really be on one side or the other of this protest. And let me tell you, the other side is not showing up as much because no one wants to be thought of as a freaking right-wing extremist. But guess what? I'm not a freaking right-wing extremist. In fact, I used to be really far left. I mean, I didn't believe that communism was a good idea, but I had friends that freaking did. I had friends that were so into communism. I could tell you some freaking stories. And I did not have many friends, So it's saying a lot. But yeah, there's a lot of people protesting on the trans side as well. That well, the side that people say that you have to be on if you're trans, which you don't. You can kind of be on all sides. People are not respecting the middle right now, but a lot of people fall between the middle, and that's why no one is at the freaking protest. Anyway, so yeah, I used to be pretty damn far left, and all it did was hurt me. It was nothing but a cope. And I don't agree with most of the things I said back then. In fact, there's some videos I have to freaking redo. So you can go and find that if you freaking want, but I wouldn't recommend it. They're probably badly edited. Because I was a leftist and I thought, well, I'm special. People should watch my stuff even if the edits aren't freaking good. That's how I was taught from the internet for my whole freaking teens. They were always going on about, oh, you should feel special. You should feel like you don't have to try. And well, guess what? I didn't. So I spent my probably, leading up to my most attractive years dressing like a complete freaking idiot and being mad all the freaking time. This thing that I use for shading in my hairline, because my hair's thinning because I'm trans. This thing I use now, that actually used to just go on my lips. I would walk around with black lipstick and be mad that people were even looking at me like I was a chick. It was really freaking dumb times, I did a lot of things that I don't agree with now. And I didn't even do a lot of things. I was literally just trying to pick up on people's freaking perceptions of me, almost in a psychic way. It was, genuinely something that only happens out of isolation. Because if I had actually talked to people, if I had actually had friends and wasn't on the internet all the damn time, I would never have even thought of being political at 15, 16. Politics is just a bad idea for a young person. You don't realize how much time you've wasted until, you're nearing 30, or you're freaking 5 years till 30, or you're 6 years till 30 like me. And you're like, wow, where did my life go? I guess being on the internet for several hours a freaking day, looking at nothing but memes and freaking politics was a really bad idea. And at that point, you don't really have a choice. You have to leave the damn internet. And once you've left the damn internet after so freaking long, once you leave all this, echo chambers, hive minds and whatnot, once you're gone out of that, then, and if you didn't make friends, you just don't have a support system. So, and plus, if you didn't try to make friends in real life when you were younger, then you don't really have a lot of people to turn to, and you don't know how to make people to freaking turn to. So that's the situation I've been in for the past billion freaking years, I tell you, everything they fed me when I was younger was just a complete freaking lie. Nah. And the funny thing is, they teach you a lot about, they tell you they're teaching you a lot about how to be trans on the internet. when really, they're teaching you how to be, how to assimilate into frickin' narcissism. A lot of these people just are covert narcissists. That's why there's so much, you know, stuff put on virtue signaling and saying stuff about fricking stuff about how no one can criticize you, and that's literally where the frickin' trans stuff is at right now. No one can criticize a trans person. In fact, I could totally frickin' milk this if I wanted to. I could go anywhere and be anything and be a total dick to everyone. And I genuinely believe that, but it would just be a waste of my life, so I'm not doing it. Let's see if the glare is better if I tilt it down. Yeah, they really got to frickin' work on how cameras work these days. I was saying this to my mom recently, and yeah, this computer was made last year, basically. So, this is what I can assume the best webcams built into the monitor are these days. But they got to work on making white people look less white and less shiny, because in reality, I'm actually freaking tan, and it makes me look pale, dog. This is what I just put on my face. You can see it looks very pale, and on the inside, it's not. So why does it reflect that way? Anyway, I got a lot off my chest. It has actually been 16 whole minutes. So I'm going to end the stream and have a shower, like most leftists avoid doing. And that be me too.
Get ready to go, Ivan.
Yay! I have to go downtown and buy Halloween things. Squeak.